Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois will settle British rivalry, just like Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno did on a wild and bitter night when Lennox Lewis and Frank Bruno contested the WBC heavyweight title at the Cardiff Arms Park in 1993. They also settled one of the bitterest rivalries the British fight scene has known. Bruno, challenging for a world heavyweight title for the third time, was not only Britain's most popular fighter, but most popular active athlete. Lewis, owing largely to his Canadian accent and an awareness of the fact that he had represented Canada at the Olympics but was being marketed, like Bruno, as a fighter from London, was still being treated by the British public with suspicion, and in some cases contempt. Lewis, making the second defence of his title, remained under pressure to fight Riddick Bowe in what remains one of the most appealing heavyweight matchups that never came to fruition. He also remained proud of his Jamaican roots and had been known to walk to the ring to the strains of Bob Marley, but was cynically told by Bruno, "I'm going to hit you upside your head, so hard you won't even know if you're Canadian, Jamaican, Los Angeles, or what. You're not British." The champion, said to consider Bruno a sellout who had betrayed his West Indian heritage, described Bruno, even more cuttingly, as an Uncle Tom. Speaking months after the murder of Stephen Lawrence that had done so much to heighten the racial tension that already existed in Britain, the build-up to their fight had immediately become toxic and quickly extended beyond both fighters to also include their teams. Bruno was a committed supporter of the divisive Conservative Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher at a time when Lewis' loyalties were with Labour. It is claimed that he considered Lewis an opportunist who had returned to Britain in the belief that doing so would increase his chances of success. He was also under a wider pressure to win because of the perception that after defeats by Tim Witherspoon and Mike Tyson, a world heavyweight title fight would never come his way again. Bruno, his trainer George Francis, and his then manager Mickey Duff had wanted to fight indoors at Wembley Arena. Lewis promoter Ponzi Yates, supported by his outspoken manager Frank Maloney, instead chose to stage the fight in Cardiff at the risk of heavy rain. The ruthless streak that defined Lewis at his peak then detected his opportunity, and he threw an extended assault around the hurt Bruno's face and neck until, after 72 seconds of the seventh, the referee Mickey Van's intervention came. In the ring, post-fight, Maloney was spat at by Bruno's wife Laura. "There was too much pride up there, and both boys forgot their boxing," he said afterwards. "That was a real war up there. That was savage. I'm a better fighter than I have ever been given credit for," said Bruno. He regardless would win the same title 2 years later, on the most memorable night of his career against Oliver McCall. Joshua vs. Dubois on TalkSport.